and welcome to another episode of Bars Unlocked, Stories Behind the Cells. Bars Unlocked is a thought-provoking, compelling podcast that delves into the world of incarceration, where we're telling story, personal experiences, and journeys of those that are incarcerated, previously incarcerated, and those that are actually within the criminal justice system or families. So we're getting the experience from everybody from all walks of life about how incarceration affects not only the people that have been convicted of a crime, but also those that support them. So we are excited to have you all with us on tonight. This is going to be an amazing episode. We have our wonderful guest that's coming on tonight. I am your host and sole proprietor, Dr. C, the Purpose Resuscitator. And we have tonight, keeping it real, Drew.
What's up? How y'all doing?
And Miss Holly P, aka Miss Neltings. She's just going to be joining us in a moment. She is here with us now. So, Miss Holly P, aka Miss Nelting. So, how are you all tonight?
I am tired, to say the least. It's been a long day, but it's been good news today. I had good news, but it's been a lot. So, yeah. What about you guys?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm tired also, but we got to do this.
We got to. We got to. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Let me get this thing together, honey. All right.
Okay, looking fabulous as usual. So I'm excited about our show tonight. Just even this week, you all know I work with some incarcerated people every week. So we have a session tomorrow. I'm so excited about. We have some people incarcerated going to be self-published authors. So I'm excited for the next chapter that they turn in tomorrow. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like they got some really good books. Look, y'all will be able to get their book in the library, and people will be able to order it on the website. So I am so excited for them. Like they didn't think they could do this. So like that's a big thing for some young men.
Yes. So Dr. C. So they these books are gonna be like on the internet. What you said they're gonna be
I
at
think
again?
she froze up just for a minute.
Am I still froze, y'all?
It's,
Am
we
I still
good. We
froze?
good. Let's keep. We good.
Okay, yeah. So we had
We
like a little
good.
technical difficulty, but that's
Right.
okay.
Okay.
It happened to the best of them and the ones with the most money too. So it's okay.
All the time.
All right. So we're gonna get into this episode tonight. And we're gonna go with Miss Holly P with our first segment is our cell behind the cells guest.
Absolutely. So I would like to introduce to you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I am so sorry. Where's my camera? Oh goodness. Can y'all see me?
Yeah.
We can't see you, but
We
we can
can't
hear
see
you.
you. We can hear
But
you.
we can hear you. It's okay.
Okay.
Go
Well,
ahead.
I want to introduce James Ingram um, to the Bars and Lock community. I'm thrilled to introduce him. He's an up and coming guest on Bars and Lock. So basically, like we said earlier, these stories behind the cells with James Ingram. He's a Florida native who has undergone an incredible journey within the criminal justice system and beyond. After spending 26 years in the Florida prison, James emerged with a renewed sense of determination and purpose despite the challenges he's faced. He refused to let his past define his future. Instead, he embarked on a journey of personal transformation and empowerment. Since his release, James has been back in the community for a few years now. He has seized the opportunity to rebuild his life and make a positive impact. In a testament to his resilience and entrepreneurial spirit, James has started a renovation business. demonstrating his unwavering commitment to turning his life around and contributing to society in meaningful ways. We are honored to have James join us on Bars Unlocked to share his inspiring story of perseverance, redemption, and triumph. His journey serves as a powerful reminder of his resilience, excuse me, guys, of the human spirit and the potential for transformation. Even in the face of adversity, please join us in a welcoming James Ingram to Bars Unlocked, Stories Behind the Sale. We can't wait to hear his incredible story.
All right.
All right.
How
We are
y'all doing?
glad to have you tonight.
Yes, yes. How
All
everybody
right.
Welcome
doing?
to Bars Unlocked.
We good. We
Great.
good.
Glad to be here finally.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So Holly P, if you want to start us off with what we're gonna be talking about with our guest tonight.
So we definitely want to know who James is. We want to know his story.
Wait a minute, you went out.
Yeah, your mic out.
Your mic out. So we'll let her mic come back in. So we'll let her mic come back in. And until then, so let's go. We're gonna ask you. So give us a little bit about your story, and we okay with these technical. This is episode 3. It's gonna be all right.
Hey man,
But
nothing in the world perfect. Nothing in the world.
Listen, you
Can't
got
hear,
that
read lips. You can't
right.
hear, read lips.
So kind of tell us about your story and um a little bit about your journey as far as incarceration.
I mean, we got to start from the beginning before incarceration. How I ended up
Okay.
though, not once I was there. You know,
Okay.
nothing starts once you're there. It starts before you're there. How you leading into there? Yeah, well, I was always good in school. You know, my mom used to always tell her friends, you know, I'm not worrying about them during school hours. I worry about them when the schools are not open no more. You know, because I was running around with older cousins, older friends. You know, eventually that led to being out, even when the street lights on, it's dark outside, and next thing you know, I'm hanging out all night, running the streets, you know, getting around the wrong crowd. And before you know it, you know, I was introduced to a life of crime and fast money. You know, to me, my mindset was why slave and work, you know, long hours every day, all week for a little bit of money when I can just pull a gun on somebody and take money, you know, big sums of money in less than 5 minutes. It was a silly mindset, but that was my mindset, you know, and that mindset kept me in and out the county jail. You know, I was a young teen in the original Duval County Jail where you had the recreation on the roof, you know, all the way down to being walked, you know, shackled with other juveniles when they opened pretrial detention facility. They walked us across the street, you know, been through the P forms, in and out, in and out, in and out. You know, next thing you know, they finally got me where they wanted me at, you know. But
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. So like you said, it didn't start out that way. It was, good kid.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
many times that's what we see is
yeah.
it was ones that, it wasn't always like that. So what made you fascinated by the fast money and all of that to end up, committing any crimes?
You know, seeing older cousins and friends and stuff, you know, that was getting fast money, the things they had, the things they was doing, you know, stuff like that is, you know, peer pressure. That's the main thing with, you know, with teens and young kids anyway, it's peer pressure. You know, if they surrounded by positivity, then they'll emit positivity. If they surrounded by negativity, they'll emit negativity. You know, we are the most dominant creatures on the earth because no matter what setting you put us in, we're going to thrive and we're going to adapt. We're going to adjust, you know.
So what was it like? Give us the rundown of that first day once they said, okay, now give us that day when you got your sentencing. What was that moment like when they finally said, this is what we giving you, whether if you did a plea or not, and if you did a plea or not, let us know. But what was that first day like standing right before that judge?
Well, my plea wasn't a plea. The only plea that the state attorney's office in Jacksonville and the judge was entertaining was 50 years. That's a life sentence. So my mindset was, I'm going to make you give it to me. I'm not going to take it. Now, I took him to trial, 3-day trial, me and my brother, dual trial, 2 separate juries. Both of us found guilty as charged. I got the worst of the charges because I'm the original culprit. I got natural life on each crime. They ran them concurrent. So by November 2nd, 1996, I was 20 years old, walking around at Lake Butler, Florida, in the reception center with natural life. My earliest release date was, I think they said 9/6/41/33. That was the date.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What was that like? I mean, to even think about, first of all, saying the word natural life, because when I think about natural life, I'm looking at, okay, that means to them like 60 or 70. But what was going through your mind when you was able to, if you visualize that date of 2033?
41/33. Yeah. Beyond a man's lifetime. Back in the 90s, the classification style, I looked at it as an act of sarcasm as I got older and wiser and my intellect enhanced while I was in prison. That's an act of sarcasm when a person got a natural life sentence, meaning you never get not. So how can you give an individual a release date? So to give me something wrote on paper that says this is your release date with a life sentence, it's an act of sarcasm. Yeah. But even though I went through that, like I told my dad finally came to see me the first visit. He was telling me the things was going on because of my actions out here, how people were stepping to him, about this, that, and the third. And he was like, man, I'm trying everything in my power not to end up in here with you. So I told him, I said, man, Park, check this out. I say, do what you got to do to stay out there, and I'm going to do what I got to do to get back out there. And that's what I did.
Right. You got any thoughts, Drew? Or
so my question was, what was that first day when you heard that cell closed behind you? What was going through your mind after you received that sentence of natural life?
Man, listen, I still remember how I felt. I didn't have no initial feeling when the judge pronounced the sentence. I was just like, I ain't have a feeling about it. I was trying to wrap my mind around it. I still remember my first day at North Florida Reception Center at Lake Butler. We had chicken that night. That's when I found out you got to eat with military precision. I had just sat down and eat my food. Next thing you know, the man come up on the end of the table, knocking on the table. I look at the other dude. They were like, man, we got to get up and go. So that night, when we got in the cells, I was in a cell by myself because of my age and my charges and, my length of time. Because back then they try to make it compatible with your cellmate, by physical size, age, crimes, time, stuff like that. But I was in the cell by myself and they rolled the bars and they clinked. I didn't sleep that night because I was laying there looking at these officers walking up and down, every 15 minutes, checking, flashing the flashlight in your face. That's when reality set in. And, I used to always ask myself, this is going to be it right here? I'm going to get back out there.
So at what point did you say, as your time was progressing, that you said that your life started to change, that you felt like you was going to, improve your life within the prison walls?
One thing I never been, always had inner discipline, always had discipline when it came to people that gave me respect. And that's why I was raised, but to have these white dudes smaller than me, what I'm saying, that I know if they see me on the street, they'll turn their head, walk the other way, to have them yelling at me, saying little stupid stuff, calling me boy and this, that, and the third. And, it used to enrage me. So I told myself, rather than grabbing one of them and hurting one of them and being stuck in here for real, I need to do something about my situation, and
Okay.
I started, I'm physically imposing by nature. I'm a big guy. I always been big all my life. I was 14. They thought I was 18, 19 years old.
Wow.
So I knew I had to be a giant fly on the wall, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I need
Very
to be seen.
oxymoron, but yes.
Yeah. Big as I am, I need to be a fly on the wall. I need to be unseen, unheard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I started navigating through. I had one of my first true friends that was white. It was an old white man. My first permanent prison was Cross City. We was in the cell together. He got a license. He was commuted from death row. I had a license. He was the oldest person on our wing in the T building. I was the youngest person. We roommates. And he did a lot of telling me about stuff. He gave me a calendar. He said, I'm going to give you some advice. You got a lot of time. People talking about your crime. And, because most prisons I went to, I was bigger than most of the guards, So he was telling me things, this is how you need to carry yourself. You don't need to be loud and boisterous, this, that, and the third. And he was telling me about making every day count. He gave me a calendar. He said, what you should do at the end of the day before you go to sleep, that day on that calendar, if you can't put a plus in that day, then you ain't doing nothing for yourself. He said, apply all your time. And that's what I started doing.
Okay. So did you set any goals when you was there to say, if I can never get back out, that I'm going to live a certain type of way, I'm going to be a certain type of way, or you going to work with the youth or do anything, positive once you get out? Did you have any goals as far as if you were going to get out that you wanted to achieve on the outside?
Well, I never had in my mind that I wasn't going to get back out. One thing I noticed about me growing up in life, and my mom used to always remind me, one thing about me, I'm real, I'm bullheaded, I'm still. Once I lock in on something, I'm locked in, And I told myself, if I can sit there, if I can just learn what lawyers know, if I can learn what the prosecutors know, I can beat them. And my appeal lawyer, my grandma and them kicked out almost $100,000 for an appeal lawyer for me just to get per curiam affirmed. That's all they wrote on the paper on the appeal. So, but what he did was something that was very valuable to me. He came to see me after the Supreme Court went on here, issued a mandate saying, that's it, we're not going to look at this case, none of that. He came to see me and he told me, look, he said, I don't have a grandson, I got granddaughters. He said, you like the grandson I never had. He said, I couldn't do it for you, but you know what happened that day. He said, you know what really went on. He said, you got all the paperwork. He said, well, my gift to you going to be Blackstone School of Law. He paid for me a full ride through a correspondence paralegal course, and I took it serious because I always was taught growing up by my grandparents, somebody offer you something, take it, because to turn it down would be a sign of disrespect.
Right.
And that's where my transformation journey started at 21 years old.
Wow. So Blackstone, heard of Blackstone.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing to go from just thinking that you're going to be in there the rest of your life to somebody offering you that. And some people would look at that course not really being a way out. They would have looked at, oh no, I need you to do this actual thing. So then they would have bypassed that because it required them to do a little bit of work.
Right.
So I commend you for just even taking that and being able to do that. So did that help you with your case, or for you going from natural life to getting out in 26 years?
Man, look, one thing I was good at on the football field, I paid attention to my adversary in front of me on the offensive line. I figured my way on how to get back there in the backfield to the quarterbacks and to the running back. And I applied that with prison. By the time I really got heavy into doing legal work and stuff and fighting my case, I was at Tomoka down in Daytona Beach. I went in the law library, all white. Okay, you don't have a black certified law clerk in here. They certified law clerk. I had a paralegal certificate. So I sent a requested clarification. Listen, you don't have a black certified law clerk. I'm not a certified law clerk, but I do have a paralegal degree. So they asked, can you show us the certificate? I pulled the original certificate out with the gold seal on it. They put me in there. So now I got an advantage on my own. I spent half of the day working on everybody else's case, helping them. And I spent the other half of the day working on my own case.
So
Wow.
did how many people do you think you actually probably helped just with your knowledge and your experience?
I know how many I helped. It's a dude from Rockledge, Florida. His name Joseph Roosevelt Payton. And this is a weird story. I'm going to show you how nasty our criminal justice system is. Everything is about finances and politics. All right?
Yeah.
Drugs, they gave the man 25 years. They charged him with sale of 1 rock of cocaine and possession of that same rock. That's how he got 25 years. All the while, they knew that the 11th Circuit, our federal appeal court, who holds the jurisdiction of the state of Florida, they knew that they said that you can't be convicted of both and sentenced for both. Then they hit him with the habitual offender statute. Because I was the only black, quite natural, blacks were coming in there running to me. One of his homeboys from the street, I was working on his appeal, so he brought him in there to me. I was like, man, just go get your paperwork, leave me alone for a week. 3 days later, I just walked up to him on the basketball court. I say, listen, tonight, I'm going to get you moved in the dorm where I'm at, because you need to sit down and really tell me everything what's going on. I said, I think I got a way to help you. So we made that move, and he sat down. He told me everything, this, that, and the third. And the paperwork reflected the same thing that he told me. So I know he's not lying to me. So I filed the paperwork for him. They took him back, cut his time.
All right. That's amazing.
Yeah, I never forget. I was out there playing basketball, and he ran on the basketball court. Said, man, they just called me to go get my stuff. I'm finna go home. And his mom and wife, for almost a year straight, every week, they would send me a $40 money order. And I told them, I said, man, don't send me no money. I'm stuck in here the rest of my life. Put my name in the prayer box.
Awesome. Listen, that's amazing.
That's a blessing right there that you did that for him and were able to do it because of somebody blessing you and helping you.
That's right.
So you passed that, you paid that forward. So
that's right.
Let me ask you a question. You 26 years old is the age you was when you went inside, correct?
No, I was 20.
20 years old. Did you have any kids?
Yep.
How many kids did you have? And how was that?
While I was sitting there in pretrial, Friday, July 12th, 1996, 10:28 a.m. I was on the phone listening to my youngest daughter come into this world.
Wow.
I still remember times and all. My oldest daughter was 4 years old.
Wow.
My stepson, which was my ex-wife's son, I'm the only daddy he know him. I'm still the one he called his dad name. But he was 2 years old.
Wow. So you had a 4-year-old daughter of your own at the time, a 2-year-old stepson, and a child that was being born into this world.
That's right.
What was that experience? You're doing all this time. The kids are, constantly growing. The mother is, going through different challenges. What was that like trying to be a father, an active father, as much as you can be behind a cell? How was that, to engage in those different conversations throughout the years? Was it consistent? Was there moments that you went, without speaking to your children? How did that work as a parent during time when you have children here in the free world?
Well, I'm gonna brace that each one of y'all just in case you don't have a loved one that's doing time. When you're doing time and you got a lot of time, the best way to keep your sanity and the best way to stay balanced and focused is don't get consumed with what's going on outside the fence, because you can't control what's outside the fence. I spent a lot of time on and off from my family wasn't here for me for 6-7 months. I just consumed myself with prison life. That's how I was able to maintain my sanity and stay headed toward where I was going. Ain't no such thing as a dark abyss. You can't fall into no dark abyss. Eventually, you're going to hit something. You're going to hit the bottom. You're going to
Right.
eventually see something, you know. I mean, if you apply the time, if you just got to think things more through. My problem, what put me in prison was I was like these bombs that no other country want other country to have. I was a nuclear reactor. I didn't think none of that. I'm going to just react.
Okay.
And that's the wrong mindset to have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the
So
wrong mindset.
definitely is. And you see that spilling over in our youth because they act first and think later. And
Yep,
then when they're given all this time and the realization sets in, they don't have attorney fees, and like you're saying, like I was saying, you're a young father, you got a 4-year-old daughter, a child that's being birthed into this world, on top of a stepchild, and you can't do anything for them because you're behind the sale. The
that's
best
right.
thing you can do is condition your mindset to not do dead time. And that's what I keep hearing you saying, that you took your time, once you was advised by the inmate, to, start applying it day by day, have a plus sign, making sure you're being productive and you're
That's right.
getting things done. Did you get an education while you was there? Did you take up any trades while you was
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The
So
same people, a lot of people don't know who built the University of Florida, the Gators.
who built it?
National Core Construction Engineering and Research.
Okay.
North Florida Technical College down in Stark, Florida. I got a certificate right in that bedroom right now. I'm a licensed
Wow.
electrician through them.
Okay. That's
You know,
amazing.
but that was at the end. But see, my journey through there, you know, I'm gonna be real with you because I experienced it.
Okay.
Can't nobody get on here and tell it, and I don't tell them whether they right or wrong. I know wardens over prisons now from back when they was officers.
Mm.
I know food service directors now when they was, officers. I can name captains right now that I remember when they first trembled off in there as a training assistant, scared to
Right.
death, you know.
Right.
But back to what I was saying, you know, people got to, people in there, we got to do things different.
Okay.
You can't do what you was doing on the street in there
Okay.
because then you become stagnated, and that's the problem. That's the problem. What's going on in there right now? Before I left prison, everybody was infatuated with being in a gang.
Protected by, did you have to, choose a game? Is it the pressure, like, if I don't choose this game, then I'm going to be taken advantage of, or I may even be physically harmed? And do the guards, the guards, they do a good job of protecting y'all when you don't want to indulge? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of toxicity going on, different personalities, all this testosterone, built up frustration, people, family members are dying every day, can't be a father, to your children. So I know there's a lot of built up pressure. Like, how do you feel about the officers? They do a good job of protecting y'all. Do you have to become a gang member, be a Muslim, or choose a certain group to be a part of? Can you be an
Well,
individual in there?
well, back when I first went to prison, you only had one. You had two gangs. I'm Jacksonville. Yeah, when I first went to prison, it was the Crips and it was the Skinheads. What
Okay.
they call now the openness. They done found some Nordic god and petitioned to have that a religion so they can openly walk around, with their head shaved and their little medallions around their neck and all this stuff, But
So how did a lot of that stuff kind of affect you as far
how
as
did it affect
your
me? I ain't have pressure.
okay.
I was quick
Okay.
to fight on the street. And me sitting
Right.
in there with a life sentence, I was quick to fight enough,
Right.
I had my scrapes, I had my bumps, I done been hit in the head with a lock, I done been stabbed, all that.
Right.
But my
Right.
point
So
was across, But nowadays,
right. So
my
as your journey, as far as toward the end of what was it
mhm,
like when you was at that moment of, how did they go about changing your time? So we going from life. So what was that moment, or when they said, okay, I don't know if you went before the judge or how did that
yeah.
work? Did they just send you paperwork? What was that moment like for you knowing that the work that was put in, now you going before to see if your time is you going to be resentenced? Is it resentencing or?
Yeah, I did.
So what was that moment like?
Well, I mean, hey, it was some bricks off these wide shoulders. I can tell you that. You
I
know,
know that's right.
I mean, initially I wasn't supposed to get commuted to 30 years. I was supposed to be resentenced to 20. I signed for 20. You know, and I was telling the lawyer at the time, Keith Andrews, that was my lawyer on my resentencing. I told him out the gate, I say, man, listen, judge only gonna give me 30. He was like, how you know? I said, because my original pre-sentence investigation, the Department of Correction recommended 30 or more years in prison because of my crimes. So he was like, I said, man, trust me. I sleep, eat, and breathe law. You go out and eat dinner, you find other things to do, but this is my life in here. So I knew, you know, but yep, the judge came back, told him, say, I won't do 20. So they went back in there, hey, 25. Like, nope, tell him, say, either take these 30 or I'm up with a part and give him a life sentence again. So I took the 30, you know.
So what was that moment like? Did you cry in court?
No, I ain't crying. I ain't crying in court.
It's okay.
Nah,
it's okay.
listen, I was smiling. No, I was smiling. And I had my legal schemes going while he was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gave me a sentence outside of my guidelines without giving written reasons. You didn't file the reasons. Only reason why I didn't get out earlier than I did was because I basically gave away that argument. It was the right argument, but on the wrong vehicle. So I lost it. You know,
and that's one of the things that sometimes, like you just said, the right argument, but in the wrong vehicle.
That's right.
So many people, that is their plight right now, is that yes, this is true, and then because the person that knows it's true either don't want to tell me or they can't tell me.
But see it go back to politics. I'm gonna tell you something about that. You know why so many people in the Florida Department of Corrections in that situation?
Why?
Because of President Bill Clinton.
Wow.
April 24th, 1996, he signed the Anti-Terrorism Effective Death Penalty Act of 1996. He put Florida state prisoners in a situation where they had to rush through the courts in 12 months, exhaust all their state remedies in order to get the federal courts to review their case.
Wow.
If we was ever in a situation where the federal court can review these cases, they'll be shutting prisons down on every corner because, number one, first thing first, you can find 10 arresting police officers of an individual. If you look at the general orders, the partisan procedure, they violated somewhere. See, if you can spot that violation in the partisan procedure that they didn't follow the partisan procedure, guess what? The case don't exist.
Like reading you your Miranda rights.
That's right.
Okay.
You lock me up, but don't read my Miranda rights. You don't have the form signed and initial, but you're gonna tell me I'm under arrest. No, that's called kidnapping. That's what that is.
So this is a lot, and so I know I want to say we're glad that you're out. We're glad,
I'm glad on mine.
The man that paid for that course for you were able to do that, and you didn't even have to spend the 30 years. So I mean, it was almost the split between the 20 and the 30. So we're thankful. And so, before we do wrap up, kind of tell us, since you've been out, what has that been like trying to rebuild? As we know, you do have your own company, but what has that been like trying to rebuild, especially after 26 years?
Well, I ain't gonna say it's easy. It was pretty much easy for me because, once I got a release date, I created my exit strategy. I took vocation after vocation. Went in plumbing, got that. Went in carpentry, got that. I like to do stuff with my hands. You know what I'm saying? So I took all that there because I knew one day I was getting out. Then when they came to FSP, Florida State Prison, with that pilot program, University of Florida and the Florida Department of Correction, I hurried up and jumped on that with the electrical stuff, And so when I walked out of prison on a Friday. I never forget. My brother caught a flat tire with rain. I caught a cold because of him. You know,
Lord.
yeah. My first day out was, hey, it was a real one.
Oh
But
wow.
you know,
So
I
did
was not,
you ain't think so with that first day and you got a flat tire, you caught a cold, it wasn't in your mind like, Lord, what is going
no,
on?
it was
Anything?
no, it was actually funny. It was funny. You know, my thing was I was glad I was out. You know, and I knew I was ready. And you knew, you know, you already knew the plans I had no made. You know, the steps I was ready to take. You know, I was gearing myself up to, you know, I was keeping up with the real estate market in Jacksonville with 18 months left in prison. You know, I knew what was going on out here in the home renovation world and all that there with a year and a half left. You know, so I was creating my plan. You know, they're gonna need somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're gonna
So
need
so
somebody to do it.
so with when you got out, I got a question. So you
Yes, sir.
out. What message would you send to the youth that was you that's going through the same thing that you were going through at 14 and 13, and what would you tell them, a message that you would give them moving forward in their life if they moving around in them streets?
If they ain't ready to do that big boy time, don't do that big boy crime. That's all I can
Absolutely.
tell them.
Absolutely.
That's
Wow.
what it
Straight
is.
like that there.
That's it. Ain't no need in lying to them.
Right.
Cause they gonna slam them on their head with as much time as they can give them, allowed by law.
Yeah.
They better
Right.
pay attention.
So what's the name of
Absolutely.
your can you tell me a little bit about your business and what you're doing
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. North Florida Property Preservation and Cleaning Service. It's
Okay.
an LLC. It's
Mm-hmm.
a sole proprietorship. I'm finna get ready to do my annual report. I got a new business partner I'm finna add and bring into the fold. You know, we doing a little organization restructuring right now, you know, because we add different stuff to it. You know, we do, you know, plumbing issues, stuff like that. We do everything in a house except I'm not getting on the roof. I'm not
Okay.
getting on the roof. No, me and Ladders are really not good friends. So I'm not getting on the roof, but you know, it's a good market to be in. You
Okay.
want you want to be able to provide for yourself. I can guarantee you that anything construction related ain't going nowhere no time soon, and they always looking for somebody want to do it.
Right.
Absolutely. Did you find any challenges because you do have a challenge background when you were trying to get licensed and get those LLCs? Did any of that come into play, like trying to get certifications, of that nature? Did anything hinder you in any way while you're trying to embark on your journey of entrepreneurship?
Nothing.
So,
Nothing.
okay.
I just got to cross my fingers because I just registered last night to take the
Okay.
general contractors exam, and they asked for
Woo!
yeah they
Woo!
asked for your social security number for a reasonable background check. So
Right.
I
Do you
mean,
feel that anxiety? Do you? Because I know I do, and I haven't gotten in trouble in so many years, but still doing background checks, I feel a level of anxiety. Do you? Because you like, is this going to come up and hinder me? Do you feel that when you're like
at
you said,
first
just a,
in when it was February of 2022, I had just applied to be a vendor for Tricon Residential. At
okay?
the time, this company, they California based, they was in Jacksonville closing on at least 1,500 homes a month.
Whoa!
Yeah, yeah.
Wow!
And when they asked for all that information, said they had to do a background check, I called the vendor manager out in California, and he wasn't able to talk to him, so he said, just email me. So I emailed him, and I told him, look, 26 years ago, man, I committed some violent crimes, this, that, and the third. Well, you think that's going to hinder me? He was like, what you did a quarter century ago has no bearing on who you are now.
Oh wow! Wow! That's
Yeah.
amazing. And some people would just let that alone, just the process to
Yeah,
even.
they'll walk away.
Yeah. So I
My,
commend you
my
for that.
mindset, my mindset is once I put a foot forward to doing something,
Yes.
win, lose, or draw. I mean, it's only gonna be one or two things. You're gonna get it to me or you're not.
Do you
So
think you built that up in prison, that mindset that you have?
yeah, most definitely. That's where most of my life been at.
Right.
So yeah, I
Right.
mean, I welcome with open arms my past experience because it molded the clay that I was into who I am now.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
This has been great. This has been truly great. And so we do thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on, like really sharing your story and in depth of everything. So I know I'm motivated by this. Just even with any obstacle I feel like I got, that I can overcome it. Cause I mean, going from, I think the rest of my life is going to be behind bars, to being able to do what was necessary to end up spending 26 and then getting out and not having as many challenges as some other people. That let me know like what I got going on, and I'd be like, oh my God, I can't do it. Oh no, ain't no
But,
excuses.
but
No
let me share,
excuses.
let me share something with y'all though. A lot of people will say that the system is broken. I'm gonna tell you something. The system itself don't really exist from an intellectual standpoint. You got a lot of broken men in prison. The system didn't break them. They broke themselves because they feel defeated. They're not willing to throw their hat in the fight. You know what I mean? They don't want to get in the race and try to do it themselves or do whatever need to be done. You know, a lot of guys, they weren't trying to go on no law library, read law books, try to do something with themselves. And I tell them straight up, listen, you're not finna bring a laundry bag full of transcripts in here and dump it on my desk and then just run around doing whatever needs to be done. You need to come do some research or something, because I can't be in the courtroom with you when I can get you back, but I can't talk for you.
Right.
You need to know what you're talking about, know what you're saying.
Right.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you found yourself mentoring some guys even during your time in prison. You found yourself mentoring and
I mean,
assisting and helping.
being a law clerk, you can't be nothing but a mentor, because they're gonna be in your ear. You go
Okay.
on and try to eat dinner, they in your ear. Hey, so you know they constantly on you. So you like, hey man, chill out, man. You know, oh, man, pump your brakes. You want to really know what's going on? Come up here and hang out with me. Let's drink some coffee and read
Right.
cases together.
Right. Do you find do they call you now? Not the same, do people get in trouble and call you because they know that you was a law clerk and ask you for legal advice, even though it's not?
Nah, no, but it's a lot of them. If you say my name in the
Yeah.
prison system, a lot of them, they're gonna tell you, a big dude with gray hair, he cut hair real good, play sports real good, and you know that law. They're gonna always throw that in.
Are you mentoring the youth now? Like, do you find yourself engaging in meaningful conversations with guys that's because on the streets that's still indulging in the same things that led you to prison? Because I feel like there needs to be some type of leadership, especially in our community, for people that have undergo and went through what you have, went through something so traumatic in life, and come home and have a peace of mind. That's just to have your mind, to want to work and want to do something. Do you find yourself compelled to talk to these individuals? Because it seems like this generation is lost and
They
nobody
ain't
can
lost.
talk to them.
They ain't lost. They ain't lost. They easy to find. You know,
Okay.
this generation and the generation before them not lost.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
You know how they say take a village to raise a child?
Yes.
The child can be raised by the village if the child just listen. See,
You
that's
got a
the
point.
problem. A lot of them you can't talk to. So I
Right.
stay away because of confrontation. That's the only thing
Okay.
I've been thinking about. So, anytime I see them, hey man, you don't want to do that. Oh, what you know? Da, da, da. Okay, I tell you what, go ahead, hit your head. Go on, hit your head.
Right.
That's my mindset. If you don't get right, you're gonna get left.
Right. Do you find yourself hiring for your company those who have challenge backgrounds? Do you give opportunities for those who do
I
have
get
strengths
them.
in their?
Yeah, I get them the opportunity before I get anybody else,
That's
because
good.
somebody got to take a shot with them.
That's right.
You ain't got to know. You ain't got to know how to do nothing I'm doing. Only thing you got to know how to do is get up out of bed, be there on time, and be ready to work.
Do y'all hear that? Y'all hear that YouTube land? He's hiring those with
Oh, well.
You
I
gotta want to
Oh,
work. You
I
gotta
got
want to
some.
work.
I got some meat on the grill now.
Right.
If I can get it cooked out, I need help to eat it.
All right. I love that.
You better believe it.
okay. Well, I listen. Let me see. No, I'm trying to see if I need a new job. Like, if I need an
Yeah.
extra job. Definitely, this has been an awesome conversation.
Thank you.
Um, and then we're gonna go to our next segment. You can stay around for this segment if you want to. And then once we finish in this episode, you can stay around, or if you want to end up going. But this has been a great interview. We appreciate you coming on
Thank you.
tonight.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
This was good. Like, I don't know about y'all, but this was good.
I
Yeah,
enjoy
well,
myself. Minus the technical difficulties, y'all take it in love. It's gonna get greater later. Bars unlocked. Stay tuned.
Better know
So
it.
I so our next segment is our cell block chuckles. Um Miss Holly
Definitely
P.
got definitely got to get into this because like I tell people, it's humor, it's humorous, and it's you can find humor in the most craziest situations. And
Okay, so on this with our cell block chuckles, so we wanted to just ask you, James. We normally have a video or a clip or something, but we wanted to just even get some real um knowledge from you. Like, what is something that continuously made you probably laugh, or something that was because in that time you still gotta have some humor, some laughter, something
Yeah.
while you're there. So give us something that could have been something that was humorous. Did you have a comedian in there? Like, what's some things that could have been funny?
Oh, we had plenty of comedians down. You know, it was a lot of funny stuff. We used to play pranks on each other, all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and we just feel like, there's always a time for laughter just to even pass the time by. Cause I know if I have like certain days of the week, I'll go to a certain people page or TikTok or something, and I think I just have a laughing spell. And it's like it make the day
Yeah.
more, the ability to handle the day that's coming. I gotta laugh. I gotta get all that out. So thank you for that. And again, we
You know,
appreciate you being on. How can people find you if they want to probably even get any quotes or anything from your business? How can they find your business?
my email is kind of long, but I'm gonna spell it out for you. NORTHFLAPROP, the number 3, CLEANSERVICES @gmail.
Okay. And what was that? North Florida?
North Florida Property Preservation and Cleaning Service, LLC.
Okay. North Florida Prop Preservation.
Property Preservation and Cleaning Service, LLC.
Okay.
do you have a business number?
Nope, my business number is my actual number. My phone
Okay.
never go off.
So we'll make sure that we add your email to this, and we'll definitely add it to the live. Again, we want to thank you for coming on with us tonight. And we wish you much success
Yes,
in your
sir.
journey of returning home. And again, we appreciate you. And we will hopefully see and talk to you soon on this journey of helping other people and returning citizens.
Better
Thank
know.
you.
No
All
problem.
right.
Thank y'all. Because if it wasn't for a show like this here, everybody else wouldn't know what's really going on.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you. And we have a good night, and we will talk with you soon.
Okay. Good night to you all.
All right.
All right, everybody. That was a great interview. And
Great
so
interview right there.
we're down to our next segment, which is our breaking news.
Okay, breaking. The news is here. I'm going to bring it to you right now. Our first story comes from Georgia, where the prisons are growing and the tough on law crimes are increasing in Georgia, which is going to enhance people returning and the recidivism that it comes with it. Um, the prison has grown like 4 to 5% in the last couple of years, and it's growing more as we talk. Um, Brian Kemp, which whatever, he's putting out laws and he's putting pressure on the prison system to make it harder for people to get out and then easier for them to get in. So I just would say just keep your nose clean, stay out the way, especially in Georgia, and you know everything will be okay.
All
Um,
right. Wow.
y'all have
That's a
anything
lot.
to say?
No, but that's, I mean, as you say, prison's gonna grow tough, but then we just have to figure out what's gonna happen next. What's gonna happen next as they grow?
Yeah, well, the next that leads right into the next story about the Georgia prisons. They're full and they're understaffed. We touched on it last week about how understaffed the prison system is right now. They can't hardly get anyone to work for the prison system, and they're trying to figure out why. Maybe the low pay, or just the things that could happen to you while you're working with the prison, with the inmates or whatever. So also the families of the incarcerated want to know why this is causing them to have issues with the medical issues, getting the service they need. The lawyers, everything that's within the prison walls is being affected by the lack of people able to work and the lack of employees working for the prison system. So that's another
Wow.
issue that we got to tackle. Getting
Right.
getting COs and getting people in the prison to work.
Wow. So that's gonna be a lot. Like, and as it unfold, and like you said, tougher on crime. So this is going to exacerbate what's already an issue, unless they're gonna take some money and increase pay, open up more jobs, open up more resources so that people are not committing these crimes. Like
Right.
more resources rather than having all these vocations inside. We need to have that money out in the community, having these vocations in the community.
Yes.
So if we did more of that, then we wouldn't have as many people that you have to actually be tough on crime with, because we are providing them with the tools and things necessary for them not to be committing these crimes. So just to see how that's gonna unfold, as
Right. Eh,
our cost of living increasing, because we already know how it is now,
mm.
nowhere to live. Plus, on top of that, how many of those that were in federal prison that are going to be going
They getting
back to
out now.
Georgia?
Right.
it's it's going to be a lot. So just being advocates, and we need more of them that are getting out of incarceration to be advocates for change. Be advocates. If you know you can vote, if you can go, like we just asked him about giving somebody a job, if you can do those things, help those that are coming out, so that way they don't be returning. So that's what we're gonna need. We're gonna need all boots on the ground and advocates to uh really stop all of these things from happening. And the race that is probably going to be the largest number incarcerated
It's us. Boy,
is us.
we outnumber. Well, we're actually, Caucasian people outnumbered because there's way more of them than us. So
Right.
they're the number, but we're catching up to be a smaller group of people. We're right there on right there, and so we need to find a way to decrease the violence, decrease the the scamming and all this stuff going on out here that put you in prison. It's a way to do get that money. It may take a little longer. It may, you might have to go through some different things, get educated, whatever. but it's a way to get to that money without violence, without taking from another person or doing something that's going to put you in prison. And, like you said, we need advocates, people who've been there, done that, could come out, help with, if they got their businesses going, help people like our guest tonight, and just try to live a better life. That's my message for today.
All right. So we are at the end of episode 3. We had our special guest, James Ingram. Awesome, awesome guest. And so the last thing that we're going to leave you all with is our bars of hope. This is where words become beacons of hope, providing that even within the toughest circumstances, the human spirit persists. So I'm going to leave you with this encouraging word before we get up out of here for tonight. Even in the darkest times, your potential for transformation and growth remains boundless. Stay focused on your goals and let each day be a step toward a brighter future. You are not defined by your circumstances, but by the strength of your spirit and the choices you make. Keep striving for better days ahead. Know that you are not alone in this journey. So this is for my returning citizens and my incarcerated. There are people who believe in your capacity for change and are rooting for your success. Take advantage of the resources available to you, whether it's educational, counseling, support groups. Use this time to reflect, learn, and emerge stronger than ever before. Your past does not dictate your future. Every day is a chance to rewrite your story and create a life filled with purpose and meaning. Again, this is Bars Unlocked, where every story, even ours, has a voice. And I want you all to have a good night.
Be easy now.